What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Thoughts of the Week podcast. And there's a lot going on, man. All right. You're rocking with the best Thoughts of the Week. Let's get it.
You're listening to Thoughts of the Week.
All right, man. Check this out. We got some apparently some breaking news. Let me show you real quick. There was I don't know if you can necessarily say it was a standoff, but some brothers came out with their guns, and I don't know if they're at the location where, or this might have been earlier today. I'm not sure if it was today, yesterday, or what, but apparently some brothers came out with their guns, and they're either standing in front of the McMichael's residence or they're out at the location where Arbery was actually, Ahmaud Arbery was actually killed. All right. There you go right there. There's the footage. All right. Law enforcement would not go. They're saying standoff, but there's no, from this video here, there's no guns, no gunshots being fired. But I said this on May the 7th. I said this on May the 7th, 2020. I did my podcast on May the 7th, right? And I noticed that my stream was getting real janky. It was going in and out. A lot of freezing, a lot of my voice I would talk, and the next thing you know, as I'm talking, there would be like, and then I'll come back in. And on that day, I was going in on the CNN article that came out that debunked anybody, including anybody who wanted to go out and say that, hold on, I think something's playing here. Let me make sure I can stop that. I try to get this thing to pause. I don't know why it plays without me playing it. But on that day, on the 7th, I was doing my podcast and my videos was going in and out. They were freezing. My voice was, started having that mechanical sound to it. And I decided when I listened back to it and looked at it a little bit, I decided I was going to scrap it because so much distortion. Then I went out and got some attachments that I needed to make the video stream a lot better. And when I did it, I redone it again. And I just changed the date from the 7th to the 8th. And I can't remember all the, I have to go back and look at it because so much has been going on. I've been doing some looking into some researching some more news. And so the stream went a lot better. All right. Is what it boils down to. So then, but when I said on the 7th, when I was doing my podcast, I was saying that I said, this thing is going to come to a head. I said, if people don't, I mean, let's just be real about it. There's some police out here that's doing some foul-ish. Let's just be real about it. All right. There's some citizens out here doing some foul-ish. All right. And been doing this for a long time. And I told somebody today, to be honest with you, slavery or lynching hasn't really ceased. It's still another form of slavery going on. There's still lynchings been going on. It really hasn't stopped. No federal law has stopped lynching. They just flipping it into another way of doing it, right? And so on that podcast on the 7th, when I did it, I said that if people don't stop, if the system doesn't do what they're supposed to do, if this continues on with the police, if citizens continue feeling like they can just do what they feel like doing, And what I'm talking about is the suspected white supremacists and people of those like feel like it's okay to do what they want to be doing. There was going to be a change. And this proves what I was saying. You got some brothers out here. I don't know. I guess they're in their legal right because I believe Georgia has certain gun laws that they're in their right. And it says that, law enforcement wasn't approaching them. All right. You see the brothers walking back and forth. Law enforcement. It's not going. Black militia, because you have the white militia that come out and they bring their guns wherever they at, never get approached by anybody. So now we have the brothers doing the same thing. We got the black militia. And I told everybody, I said that on that podcast, I said, if this don't stop, folks going to get tired. Folks is tired of the nonsense that's going on, the mistreatment, the racism that's going on. It's not that. The racism that's going on and people getting fed up. I said it was going to happen. All right. I said this was going to happen and things similar to this. People are not going for the games anymore. It's just plain and simple. We're not going to keep getting mistreated. We're not going to, let me show you that real quick again. Black folks are not going to be out here getting mistreated. And then when it comes to going to court, these guys are getting off or they're getting real light sentences. But the moment somebody black do something, and you got to be honest, they're finding them the same day or the next day. You're not getting 2 months for a break, right? So you can figure out a game plan on how you're going to get out of this situation. And you got prosecutors and people in government involved in trying to help you get out the situation because you were friends with them. That's how Brunswick, Georgia gets down. The DAs and former investigators who involved in killing Ahmaud, the way they get down is they don't prosecute and they try to figure out how they're going to get you out if things come to a head. If the feds get involved or whatever, should they get involved, they're going to figure out how to get you out. And I said on that podcast, although my podcast was being distorted, I don't know if it was just a bad connection or it was the information that I was putting out, that the powers that be go in and they're able to distort your streams. I've heard other people, funny stuff has happened to their streams as well when they put out certain information. So, like I said, I decided to scrap that video. What I did say in that video on that podcast was that all of this was going to come to a head if the continued mistreatment of black people unarmed and getting shot for no reason, people surrendering themselves and still getting shot. There's so many cases of that. And then when it comes out, the people who did it get little to no time at all. And every now and then they got to make their sacrifices. There's certain white folks that do stuff. They got to sacrifice them and put them in jail because it'll look real funny if everybody got off every time, because you got the world looking at you as it is. So you're going to look real funny if you allow everybody to get off for doing illegal stuff. So I said that if this don't stop, man, I said people getting fed up. And there's your proof right there. People are not playing games no more. If there are one set of group of people who are allowed to come out like this, then you're going to be fair to everybody and allow them to come out like this. All right. All right. It's just plain and simple. See that? All right, lay down. I'm trying to let this play a little bit so you guys can see. They saying Georgia law enforcement standoff at the McMichael's residence. Police called by neighbors. People are still posted up in the neighborhood where Ahmaud Arbery was lynched. And I said, nobody's going to be going for the games, man. People are tired. You're going to either be fair with everybody or things are going to change. It's that simple. You can't just be foul like that, man. You just can't. So, like I said, it was going to get down to that, and it looked like it's getting down to that. Nobody's going to go for no games anymore. All right. Nobody's going for the games anymore. So anyway, feel free again to comment. All right. If you're not afraid to comment, feel free to post your comment, man. If it need be, I'll address it. And, you know, sometimes people need to vent, and why not vent every now and then? So today I'm going to talk about that was part of it. I'm kind of setting the stage about that what happened that day on the 7th. So like I said, I was doing a podcast when I know what was going on as I was doing it, because I was using my phone to kind of monitor what I was looking and listening to, and I can hear the distortions at times and stuff like that. So at the end, while I was looking at the audio, and I was trying to edit the audio so I could put it up to the podcast platforms. Excuse me. And so at the end, I was like, I'm just going to scrap it because I don't like having all those distortions to it. And like I said, I went out to the store. I kind of did some research on how I can make this a little bit better. And so I fixed it that next day, did my podcast. And come over here. Go ahead and lay down. And so one of the things I was talking about on the 7th was there was an article it was a CNN article that I read in regards to the police department saying that there were no reports of break-ins like the suspected white supremacist lynchers were saying that killed Ahmaud were saying that this guy, even the phone call was saying like he's running, and the dispatcher would ask him, well, what is he doing? There he goes, he's running. And they asked him, well, what is the guy doing? Never said what he was doing, just that he was running. Then it turned out that the article was saying that apparently, I don't know which it was the dad or the son had their gun stolen out of their truck. First of all, what you leaving your door open? There's two things to that. Why are you leaving the door open to your truck, right? Or did you really make that story up from the jump? All right. Then you got this guy who, one of them, the dad, was a former investigator, right? So the thing is now is I'm wondering how many of your cases have to be dismissed when you were investigating cases at one time. People have to look back at your cases now and probably dismiss a lot of people you had arrested because of the shadiness you had going on that day y'all killed Ahmaud, right? Go ahead and sit down. Lay down. And so that's another thing to consider. All right. And so, like I said, I put that article, I had the article on the screen. I was reading from it. It was saying how the police department said there was nothing going on since January 1st of this year. So they was pretty much debunking what these guys were saying. And of course, there was some people out there in social media was throwing that out like, yeah, this guy was involved in a bunch of break-ins. But the police department themselves debunked that because they said there was no reports. The only report that ever was a report from the suspects that killed Ahmaud. And that in itself is real shady, right? That in itself is super shady, right? So I said that I titled this episode "The CNN Cover Up and Deception." Plus, we're going to look at some coronavirus, do some coronavirus research. All right. And we'll talk about that in a little while. But so the CNN cover up and deception. Now, I wish I kept that podcast and maybe just let it go up with all the distortions, but I thought, people wouldn't stay too long to watch it if they were watching on the social media platforms, or if they were listening to it, they probably wouldn't stay, listen to it too long and miss out. So that's why I scratched it. But then I come to find out that the link that went to that article, the link still exists. The link is still good. But what happens now is when you click on that link, it no longer takes you to that article. So CNN has now hid that article. All right. Maybe they'll bring it back because a lot of us is talking about it now. But CNN has hidden that article altogether. And let me pull up. Hold on. Let me see something real quick. Okay, there we go. And so let me pull up. I'm going to show you guys now what happens when you click the link. All right. I'm not going to get the link for you. Okay. Let me pull that up real quick. Okay, there you go. That's cool right there. It's cool in the game. So when you guys click on that link, if you ever find the link, instead of it talking about how the police department debunked these two turds stories about so many break-ins, now it looks like CNN replaced that article. The link is still good, but now it's been replaced with this article right here. So when you click on that link, if you ever find the link anywhere, and it's the same people, the same authors, well, there's a third author now, but these two right here, Dakin Andon and Angela Barajas, they were the same authors of the previous article that when you clicked on the link, it brought you to that CNN article where it told you that they debunked that story that they came up with it being so many break-ins. And so what happened now when you click that link, it comes to this story here where it says a suspect in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery was involved in a previous investigation of him, recused prosecutor says. A suspect in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery was involved in a previous investigation of him. So what they're saying is the turd on the left apparently investigated Ahmaud in something previous. So it looks like, for y'all who wasn't sure too much about CNN, y'all know they shady. All right. And I'm sure they've been doing a lot of stuff like this in the past. Now, I remember some time ago, I was watching an interview with Dick Gregory, and he made mention that when you have these 24-hour news cycles, they can't stop everything. So every now and then, some real facts get out that they didn't really want you to get. And so you might have a window of time to record that or jot some information down or take a snapshot of that video or a picture or of the article, whatever. So those cycles, they can't 100% cover everything up that they need. So sometimes things slip. And I remember in the past, some when some major incidents went down, I was able to catch certain things, but I never recorded them or took pictures of them. So, and then I would come back later and find out, yeah, they done changed the narrative. They changed the story. All the reporters started switching to a different narrative. So I said, yeah, they covering something up. So CNN has been doing this for a long time. It's just little things I remember. And I would prove it if I kept the stuff or if I actually took the snapshots or recorded the video. But that's not a problem because eventually CNN and other channels that do the same thing are going to slip just like CNN did with their article. And actually, there's other new black media outlets that actually have the original CNN article. But I was able to get another news outlet who has the same information that I was talking about. So here in this article here, you see where it's talking about one of the men accused in the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery was involved in the previous prosecution of Arbery, according to a letter written by a prosecutor who has since recused himself. So one of the prosecutors is out here trying to help the suspect, and they're trying to skew the narrative, and they're trying to flip things around a little bit. I don't know if they think something's playing here. Let me stop them real quick. I don't know why it keeps playing, but we might even get to this right here a little later on. So it looks like now what they're trying to do with the help of CNN. I don't know how many other major outlets are going to do it, but I'm going to show you something real quick before that disappears, and we're going to document it this time. But now it looks like they're trying to switch narratives. They're trying to lighten these dudes up, these white supremacists up, and trying to make them look good because the trial coming, going to eventually come down the road, and so they got to start making them look pretty. So folks, so they can get ready to prepare for them not getting a harsh sentence. So that's what's going on here. The games are starting to get played, and CNN got busted this time. They got caught. All right. So let me just pull up here another. So you'll see that, but I'm going to show you what originally CNN had reported. All right. That they now switched the articles. And like I said, whenever you hit a link, the article you see on the screen is what pops up from the original article. So CNN is covering up for these guys. All right. So I want to pull that up real quick and let you see what I'm talking about here. So now you guys know CNN is shady. All right. So this is what CNN had originally. Let me see here. Let me pull it down. This is it right here. Although this says KTLA5, this was CNN actually reported in their article. This was on the 7th when I was doing my podcast and it was getting distorted. I was saying to myself, or I was actually saying it live. I was like, I'm wondering if they distorting it because of what I'm reporting. They don't want that to get out. And then I figured out there was a better way to get my streams to look a lot better or to come in a lot better. So I did that. And that was the next day. And that's when I did my podcast over. I redid it. But what you can tell that I redid it is because I put in the title the date for 5/8/2020, but you look at the picture on the bottom of it where it says current events. On the bottom it still says 5/7 on there. So I did a podcast on that day. Like I said, I scrapped it because it kept getting distorted, and I was wondering was it because the information I was putting out. And again, that seems to be a thing that's been happening with other people's podcasts. A lot of black people who do a lot of reporting, the new black media. And what's been happening is their streams get distorted. They get shadow banned. So people who would subscribe to their channel and they would get unsubscribed for no reason at all. So we out here trying to report the truth from what the mainstream media is not doing. And as I just told you, CNN has covered up because what you see on the screen is what actually was CNN actually had. This is what the actual title actually said. And so when you would hit on the link that would go to this article, now it goes to CNN has a new article. So the link is still good, but now it switches the article to something else relating to the case and no longer has what I'm showing you right now. All right. So it says, men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery thought he was a burglary suspect. Thought. And when I was talking about it on the 7th, I was breaking it down. They thought he was with no evidence. No burglaries were reported weeks before the fatal shooting. So it looks like they not only did they illegally and they lynched him, they lied. and the people in the district attorney and some other attorneys were covering up for him, and CNN is now covering up for him. All right. So this is what it actually said. The two white men arrested Thursday evening in the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery told police they believe he was a suspect in a series of break-ins, but no such string of crimes was reported in the weeks preceding the shooting. A police lieutenant told CNN. I specifically remember those words in there when it was in the CNN article. Again, if you guys are just coming in, I'm just reporting that CNN is covering things up. The propaganda machine is now beginning, and CNN is covering some stories up now. All right. So let's go back here. It says Gregory McMichael, 64, and his son, 34-year-old Travis, faces charges of murder and aggravated, assault in Arbery's death. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, they were arrested 2 days after a 36-second video that appears to show the deadly confrontation surfaced online. After the killing, according to a Glenn County police report, Gregory McMichael told police he thought Arbery, 25, looked like a person suspected in a series of recent break-ins in the Satilla Shores neighborhood. But according to the Glenn County Police Lieutenant, Sherry Bachelor, just one automobile burglary in the neighborhood was reported when a 9mm was stolen January 1st from an unlocked truck outside the McMichaels' home. So they apparently were the only ones that reported this, any type of report. There was no other break-ins reported since January of this year. So this was the article, like I said, that was in CNN's article that CNN has now removed and replaced it with some other nonsense. Arbery, who was black, was jogging outside of Brunswick. Blah 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 blah. I just want justice for my son. So again, the police, the Glenn County Police Department reported that no, there were no burglaries in that neighborhood. Just one incident, and apparently it was from the McMichaels, the ones who murdered Arbery. Yet they said he looked like. No guarantees that he was the suspect. He looked like a suspect, the person suspected in a series, meaning more than one, a series of recent break-ins that never occurred. All right. So they lied, and CNN is now covering up for them because, like I said, they changed the article. They changed the article. Hey, they changed the article from what you see. This was the original article. What you guys seeing now on KTLA. Let me just pull that back up. From this, they went from this, and I'm going to show you now where they gone to. All right, let me pull up now what CNN has done. So this is what CNN has done now. When you click on the link, it no longer it no longer shows the article. Now, when you look at the authors, there's a third author here. There was only two in the one I just showed you. These first two here, Dakin or Dakin and Angela were the two authors on that article. Now, when you click the link, this is what you see now in replace of the original article. All right. So CNN, you on alert, you real shady. We got you. You've been had, or you've been exposed, I should say. You've been exposed. Shh. And now we know what you're about. All right. Now we know what you're about. And so, with that being said, man, I just wanted to bring that out and document this. And there's other people documenting it as well. The official New Black Media. There's several outlets of New Black Media who are reporting this, and so they actually have the original. They have the CNN with the CNN logo on it, and they're reporting this as well. So we got you on notice, CNN. And like I said, I know they've been doing shady stuff before because I've caught certain things in the past, and unfortunately, I didn't, record it or save it or take a snapshot. But I do pay attention, and CNN has been doing stuff like this in the past as well. So they've been real shady. All right, real shady. So I just wanted to document that for the record. So when this comes down the pike, there will be no denying. All right. So now what we're going to do is I want to talk about the coronavirus and some updates. And mainly I wanted to do this because maybe let me do one more thing here. Hold on. I think this is his sister. Let me just play this real quick. Let me play this before we get into the corona thing here. All right. Let me do this. All right, let's play this real quick here.
Aubrey, 25 years old, taking a jog, killed. Imagine this is your brother. Imagine that this is your son.
Oh, looks like things jumping again. See what I'm saying? There we go. Let me see if we can get you get things back here. Real interesting how things work.
Aubrey, 25 years old, taking a jog, killed. Imagine that this is your brother. Imagine that this is your son. Let's get some reaction now from his sister, Jasmine, along with the family attorney representing in this case.
There goes Sleaze Merritt.
Thank you. Jasmine, I am very sorry to meet you under these circumstances, but I am very privileged to give you this platform. And frankly, I apologize. It should have come a lot sooner. How is the family doing with the news today of an arrest in Texas?
Well, as of today, we feel a sense of relief. This has been a long run. It's been a long time. It feels like it's been a long time. So this day was a turning point in recovering my brother's case and getting justice for him. So we're relieved and happy.
I want to immediately take a turn away from the incident that is defining his death and not let it define his life. Tell us about your brother, 25 years young, where his head and his heart were, and what he wanted his life to be about.
Well, I'll like to start by saying I was always proud to be his older sister. He was easygoing, loving, generous, humorous, and overall, what he showed that day, he was brave. Just an overall good person.
Did he have dreams of a specific profession or wanting more schooling, or what did he want to do? What were his dreams?
He actually wanted more schooling. He wanted to be an electrician. That's what he was aspiring to be.
Now, when this first happened, and the explanation was, well, he was fleeing the scene of a crime. He fit the description. Did any of that make any sense?
Not to me, not at all, because he's known for running in the neighborhood. So we immediately believed that information that we received was not true.
And did the police come to your parents and say, well, he was leaving the scene of a crime and that's what this was about? Did the police say that to your parents? Do you know?
I do know that they said that it was a burglary, actually.
But did they connect your brother to it?
I'm not sure.
How is your family taking this?
It's been a numbing state for the family because we haven't been able to grieve. We're in a constant fight mode because we're trying to see justice for my brother.
Why do you think this happened, Jasmine?
I believe it was a hate crime.
How so?
It was one black guy and 3 white guys.
How does
My brother was jogging.
How does that make you feel? That might have been what took your brother's life?
As if his life wasn't respected.
What do you want for him?
We want justice. We're seeking justice.
What does that look like?
They're getting consequences for whatever they're doing. In this sense, they took us. This whole situation was senseless. It could have been avoided. My brother's supposed to be here. His birthday is tomorrow. He's supposed to be here with us.
Tomorrow's his birthday.
Correct.
What's the family going to do on his birthday?
We plan to go to my hometown, which is Brunswick, Georgia, to do a balloon release to honor him.
I'm so sorry that your family is going through this, and I'm so sorry it's taken so long to get notice and attention and action from police, and frankly, from us as well. That's not a mistake you make twice. We'll be following what the Georgia Bureau of Investigation does from here on out.
All right, so there you have it with that. All right, there you have it with that. I was going to say something about her interview, but I'm just going to leave that one alone because people grieve the way they need to grieve. And so it just bothers me sometimes that people kind of smile things off for something that's serious, but that might be how she grieves. So I'm not gonna down her for that. It just kind of bothers me a little bit when people, something as serious as that, they kind of smiling it off, but that might be her way of dealing with it, and she might change down the road. So, but there you have it on that. All right. So, with that being said, let's talk about one other thing before I get out of here. Is I wanted to talk about the a lot of people have been getting mixed information. Now they're letting people out in certain states working again and trying to get back on their feet and so on and so forth. And then you have other people that have been let me show y'all this again before I get to that. Hold on. All right, some things have changed. Okay. But some governors are allowing people to get back on their feet and get out there and work and go back to the gym. And there's other people that saying, no, I ain't going out there yet. I don't think it's time to be going out there yet. And then you've been getting different types of information. And so you don't really know who to trust, who to believe.
Hey, what's happening? I'm live right now.
And so there we go. And so you don't know who to believe, you don't know who to trust. So why not do your own independent research, and so you can figure things out. Well, here's another site I need to pull up real quick here. All right, let me see if this is it. We're here on the side of this thing. Hold on. Can we do an overview on that? Or is this it over here? Okay, we'll do that. Anyway, so what I thought would be good is that I pull up some sites and we do a little bit of research And feel free, again, like I said, you guys, feel free to comment. All right, don't be shy to comment. And if you guys want to join me live, if you want me to invite you on the actual stream, just comment, put it in the comments there. Let me see. I wonder if I could put the link in the comments. Let me see if I can do that. Let's try it and let's see. Let's experiment on this thing real quick. I'm going to try to put the link in the comment section, all right, in the chat. So if you want to join me live, click on that link. It'll ask you for permission to use your camera and if you're looking at this from your phone, it'll ask you for permission to use your phone's mic and your phone's camera. Then I'll see you on my dashboard here, and then you can come in on the stream if you want to, talk about it. So I'm gonna put that up. Hopefully it'll go through. There you go. Yep, both on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to join in and actually come on the stream with me, click on that link. Like I said, it'll ask you some questions, a couple of questions, and I'll get you in on it. All right. Other than that, you guys feel free to comment. All right. And we'll chop it up live either way. So, like I said, I wanted to do some coronavirus research, look at some things, so you can look at it yourself. Whether you look at the video, the replay of this episode later, or if you're looking at it in real time right now, you can make some better decisions on your own. Okay, on your own. So this is what I'm going to do here. Let's see. Confirm. I need to find out if there are any new cases. So every now and then, let me do this one in New York real quick. Check that out. And what we're going to do here is as well. Let me see. Symptoms. Okay, you got that. Put the statistics. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So let's take a look at 3 different things here, 3 different pieces. Instead of using just one, you probably want to look at least 3. If you're ever doing any research on anything, don't look for just one source. Look for a minimum of at least 3, so you can start comparing information and comparing notes that one is putting out compared to the other. One might be putting out something more than the other has, or vice versa, or they putting less than the other one, and you can start developing and getting your own information so you can make better decisions. That's what it's all about. To make good decisions, you need information. All right. And then you need to start deciding. You can't just keep holding out from making decisions. All right. So let's take a look at this real quick. Let me put that on the screen here. And let's talk about this real quick. I start out with New York. All right. Let me just see here. Oh, interesting. All right. I'm still learning this thing here, and so having a little fun with it. So let's take a look at a coronavirus update for New York. All right. You got the little graph here where you've seen that it was going up, kind of down a little bit from April the 4th, as far as cases are concerned. Then it kind of went up again, spiked up, then went down a little bit, spiked up again on the 15th. Then it started going down in the later April. It started going back up. And so it appears it's kind of gone down. The most it's probably been up is probably on the 15th of April. That's 1100, 571. Then you got 10,000. So I don't know if these represent new cases. Let me go down here a little bit and see what's going on. That's what I want to know. That's the information I want you guys to know, and I want to know as well is, are there still new cases coming up? Let me hit this real quick. Okay, this is getting out all the counties in New York. And by the way, if you want me to look up a specific city, then feel free to comment. All right. And I'll look that city up. Put the city in the comments. All right. Don't forget to support the show as well. If you are enjoying the episodes, whether it's this one or you enjoyed previous ones and you're getting some valuable information, feel free to support the show at bit.ly/support podcast show. The information is at the bottom of the screen. You can type in www.bit.ly/support podcast show. All right. Everything's on the bottom of the screen if you want to support the show for just $1.50. All right. $1.50. Support the podcast show. Now, like I said, that was New York, right? And like I said, what I really want to know is, let me see if I click this drop down. Okay, so this gets all the states. So I can hit up all the states, and then I guess on the other side where it says United States, I can do the different countries. Hold on, Guam. Oh, yeah, that's probably U.S. territory, I suppose. Let's take a look at let's go to Tennessee real quick and see what's going on there. 14,096 confirmed. I wonder if the plus sign means there's been 327 new cases on top of this confirmed 14,000 cases. So yeah, confirmed. There's the breakdowns in counties, right? And then it's the confirmed, the recovered, and the deaths. Unfortunately, I wish there were 0 deaths, but unfortunately, there are a couple of zeros. But most of these counties have some type of amount of death. Let me see, 1, 2, looks like 3 counties are reporting 0 deaths. And you also got to consider the fact that some of the numbers might be skewed because there's been reports. And I was going to pull up that video. There's a nurse, a white lady in New York, and I kept saying she's giving out too much truthful information, telling the truth. So I don't know if they're going to remove her altogether. But she was reporting that when she had, and she said herself, she said Black lives really don't matter in the hospital. And she was saying that every time she was trying to advocate for one of the Black patients, they would move her to somebody else. And all of a sudden, some other people that work in the hospital would do things that she said that didn't make any sense. They were using defibrillators when the person already had a pulse and end up killing the patient. They would inject them or not inject them with certain things when they if they had a lower pulse. All you had to do is, I think she mentioned atropine or something to that effect, that kind of would help the process of making the pulse better or something to that effect. And they were doing it or weren't doing it when they wasn't supposed to, doing it when they wasn't supposed to, and end up killing patients. So I was saying that they're gonna get her. She's getting off code. This is a white lady, white nurse, kind of young looking nurse, and she's was out there reporting that they doing some foul stuff to the Black patients. And she's there to do her job, and she's trying to advocate for them, and they killing these Black people off. Let me see if I can find that video. If so, I'll show it to you. But yeah, she was reporting that, and there's so much things going on. It's crazy. Here we go. I'm gonna show you guys this here in a second. Let me see something real quick here. I might be able to pull it up. I can get it pulled up for you guys to hear it. We gonna be in good. Oh, don't tell me I can't do it. Oh, hold on. Might be good to go here. So I got to sign. I don't feel like signing in on the laptop, so I'm gonna show you from the phone here in a little bit. But so there's your stats on what state is this? Hey, I went back to New York. Let me go back here and do Tennessee again. Which state was this? Oh, Guam is deleted. Let's hit Tennessee and let's see what's going on there. And let's scroll down to the counties. You have confirmed, you have recovered in death. But what I was trying to find out, like I said, was any new cases. So I don't know where it says the confirmed. Let me see, make sure that's on the screen here. Where it says confirmed, and it got 14,096, it looks like. And then under it has plus 327. So I don't know if the plus 327 is newly reported confirmed cases. That's what my thinking is that newly reported. So what I'm going to do is get you guys on another map here. We're going to pull this map up. We're going to get rid of them real fast in a hurry, like chicken curry. So let me see. Let me pull this up. Let me get them up here. All right. So we got global confirmed 4,101,482. Global deaths 282,700. Total test results. We're not gonna worry about that. Let me see if I click on this. Is this the one I was looking at from maybe a month or two ago? I think it is. All right. Let's take a look. As it pulls itself up. All righty. So what, like I said, what I'm trying to find are new cases confirmed by population, confirmed death fatality rate. Data is updated once per day after 8 p.m. Eastern to allow the system to pull county level data for the most up to date confirmed cases and deaths. Please see the COVID-19 global map. New York City borough deaths data does not include probable COVID-19 deaths, as this data is not reported. Map visualization. All right, we won't look at that. Let's see here. And also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put the mic on the camera. I'm using another mic here. All right, so we're going to pull up some things here in a second. If I can find, oh, there we go. So let me enlarge this real quick. Let's see if we can pull up some stuff here. There we go. Africa, let me see if they start pulling up some stuff here. Confirmed by population. Let me hit the confirmed and let's see that. Bring us to the US, because that is the US map. And so, hold on. Why did it do that? I need to know what's what, but we can. So there's a lot of yellow. I got to figure out what, let me see, please select from list. I got to figure out what the colors mean. Got to figure out what the colors mean. Let's see. Since I can't, I'll get to it again here in a sec. Let's go to another one. So what's happening again is that my streams is cutting off, and luckily I'm able to pull them back up. Like I said, it seems, I don't know, and now it can't be like it was on the 7th where there was some jankiness going on with the connection. Now it's looking like it's the stream is being tampered with. All right, so apparently I must be getting to some information that they might not want you to know, or it just might be a glitch, you know. But I'm kind of leaning towards the shadiness going on. So let me pull the screen up again. Let me see what we can do here. See how things go. You see, there we go. Let's see. Let's take a look. All right, data, the map, wiki. Let me see. So they're saying total recovered 1,497,776. Total active cases. Okay, they got them over here. Okay, that's the total active, but it says 2 million. So I don't know if that's worldwide because it's 1 million on this screen here. And then they don't show anything else for the other states. They're giving you the confirmed cases and the deceased, and only a total of all states that they're giving you an active. Let me see something here. Okay. Wuhan repatriated. And so, like I said, again, I'm trying to find anything that's representing new cases. And it seems like the only one that's doing that, maybe, let me see, these are the stats. Let's see these right here. If this gets anything different. Well, that's for Canada. US, this is the worldwide. Now, this might be the closest thing that I can tell. This worldwide, though. Can I click on this? That's giving you, it's telling you at least that 2,149, it says changes today, up 5%. So, but we need to know the breakdown of what has gone up. Is it the US? Is it Spain, the United Kingdom? Well, they're giving one for China. Okay. Changes today's got an arrow going up. So I'm assuming that means a couple of percentage points has gone up. And you got Mexico gone up. Interesting. Surely, okay. Then you got South Korea. It looks like their arrow has shot up. Panama, Australia, Bolivia has gone up. Honduras, New Zealand, Guatemala, Sri Lanka, Jamaica going up. What else here? Angola going up. If I'm not mistaken, that's what those numbers are for. And that's what I wanted to find out was the any new cases, in particular in the US, is where I was trying to find out. Let's see here. Okay. You got the US. It said no changes on the US at all. So they're not giving you all the numbers, if maybe because there's nothing else to report. And that's the way you probably want to research, is that you want to see if there are any new cases that come up, so you guys can see the let me see if I can pull that. It's not giving you the website, but you guys can see there. So the website for this one is NCOV, which is NCOV, NCOV 2019.live/data. All right, if you want to look that up. Click this thing real quick and see what happens. Just resetting itself. So you definitely want to make sure there's no new cases going on. Let me hit the United States and see what happens again. So that's one site. Another site is coronavirus.jhu.edu/US-map, or just go to coronavirus.jhu.edu and you'll be able to see this one real quick. Let me get this out. Let me pull this up real quick here. So this one is coronavirus.jhu.edu. Oh, you got something in the Bronx. Let me see what's going on here. Let me click on the Bronx real quick. Oh, okay. It brings you a little close up. So let me get to confirm. I want to know what, let me see here. Let me see if they give you like a little, because I need to find out what these colors represent. Let me see maps and trends. Let me hit on maps and trends real quick. Let me see what they're giving. Okay, this brings us back to this. All right, let me click on this where it says, where are COVID-19 cases increasing? Let's look at that real quick. The cumulative cases animation shows the total number of cases reported in each country at each point in time, regardless of how many people have recovered. Visualizing cumulative cases demonstrates the overall toll of coronavirus on a country over time. So the darkest of brown is 300,000. So that's pretty much the US. So it seems like everywhere else is getting less or has less than the US. Another thing that I kind of heard from the underground grapevine, and that might have been another reason why my stream was probably getting distorted, is that rumor has it is that some companies in the US brought some of that or all of that virus over to China in hopes of doing something to China, but instead we got the blowback from it, so we end up getting the worst of it, it appears. And I've heard that early on as well. That was kind of insinuated before by a few independent folks, mentioning that there are different labs at different places, and there's some labs in Canada that kind of fool with those viruses, and maybe the possibility that some of the stuff was moved from one lab to another. So that was brought up. You know, notice that's not the going thing. That's the kind of on the hush hush type of side comments that's been mentioned. Let me see here. Let's look back at this one. We're gonna go back and because this might be one of the accurate. We look at a few more of these updates and see what we can see. And then I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna call out a few, and I'm maybe want to show you one more thing before I get out of here. All right, so we got New York. Let's see if we can change the cases. Let's look at Alabama. So 9,736 confirmed. There's no plus sign under them. So I'm thinking that whenever you see a plus sign, if you guys, let me see if the cursor's on the screen here. You might be able to see the cursor, but if not, if you look at the left side, you'll see it says confirmed. It says 9,736. Now, right under that, some of these have a plus and whatever number. So I'm thinking the plus might be some new cases. So it doesn't appear that any new cases are going on in Alabama and its counties. Coronavirus statistics checking epidemic. I probably could Google in new coronavirus cases in the U.S. and see what pops up there. But so that's one way of looking at it. Let's click on another one. Let's look at California real quick and see they got a plus 2,000. So I don't know if that's some more new cases. And then it says 2,678 deaths plus 67. So I'm thinking that since then, it was 67 more to add on top of that 2,000. And the same thing with the confirmed. You got the 2,119. All right. So that might be some new cases. Let's look at let's look at Kentucky. $6,128 confirmed plus 152. 294 deaths plus 6 more. All right, so these might be the states, or if you can look at these, type in what you want to do is type in the Google, type in coronavirus update, and then type in whatever state you're in, and then start looking things over. Let's go to Florida. 38,000. Because see, I also heard that under the underground grapevine is that if you around any water, like a beach or something like that, they say that the air in that area, the near beaches, carries that virus further. So you might want to keep that in consideration. And that's what's making me wonder about this Florida confirmed as 38,000. They got some high numbers, and then 802 plus 802 more. So if you're living near any beaches, you might want to consider staying away from there, because what I heard is that beaches, the water, the air in those type of areas carries the virus some more and carries it further or longer or something like that, or holds it longer, something to that effect. Now looking at Georgia, confirmed 31,000, pretty high, and Georgia governor letting folks out. So 419 looks like more added cases. 419, 1,352, and then 5 more deaths added on top of that. So check out these 3 sources. Like I said, I gave you the first 2. You just got to look back at the video. And then on Google, just type in coronavirus update and then put your state after that. After the words coronavirus is one word, then update, and then type in your state. And you should get some stats and make decisions based on, it got a little graph as well. Let me hit this and do an Alabama graph. Let me see that. See, it seems like it's spiking, is going higher in the months of May. So Alabama, if they're your governors out there letting y'all run the streets, y'all be smart and not go too far, go too many places, or go in them big gatherings, because it still seems like you starting to go up higher. Let me click on this again here. And Georgia's kind of, it's up and down, highs, lows. It's not, it appears to be going down a little bit, but it doesn't look like people are out of the woods yet in Georgia as well. So you might want to consider not going to too many places still. And keep checking back here and you can figure things out. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for checking out the show. All right. Nobody wanted to get on live, which is cool. It is getting kind of late. Some people are up. Some people are not. Nobody wanted to comment. That's good. That's all good. Again, you might be getting ready. Some of y'all might be getting ready for work, which is cool. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys again for checking out the show. And stay tuned for another episode of Thoughts of the Week podcast. All right. Again, I am out of here. One love. Peace. I'm gone.
You're listening to Thoughts of the Week.